Hey everybody, JM Gaming back again with another IdleOn review. Today we got Danneth again. This is like what, lucky number 4 now? Let's go. Alright, let's get right into it. So essentially the problem that Danneth is having right now is a bit of decision paralysis. They've knocked out a lot of the stuff that I've said. And they're just kind of looking for the next step to kind of keep progressing fast. So let's go ahead and do it. I see your obols look fantastic. I like it. Very nice. I see that you're also working up your statues a little bit. At some point, too, keep working on the Cavern, because eventually you're going to want these are so good. Dragon Warriors are so good. I know it's going to take you a while, but just keep that in mind. Once you can get to where, even if it takes you like 2-3 days to unlock it, do it. I was thinking like 3-4 days is probably like my cutoff. After that, it's like, I probably don't want to, sit all of my opals sitting on it for more than that. But yeah, 3-4 days, you're probably okay. Because once you get it unlocked, you're done. When in doubt, you can just look at how much you're making per hour and then just divide it by the number that you have for it, and it'll tell you how many days. It's that simple. I see your shrines are looking a bit better. Also, you got over 10k stamps, which is fantastic. Love it. See, that's what happens when people start doing what you tell them. Yay. Okay, so I can see right off the bat, you're at the point to where you're past the salt lock point, which is fantastic, because I noticed that you have your World 5 gear on. Very nice. Now, it's time to take it up higher. Let's see here. Also, what you're going to want to do, too, is... Yeah, but it's not that bad, though. You're definitely not in the worst shape. Like, to get to, like, marble. Yeah, but still. To get to marble and to get to God Shard and stuff. Like, look at it this way. If you can get marble done, like, God Shard is easy. You do 2-minute claims with it, and God Shard is easy. Yeah, you're going to want to get to marble and eventually work yourself to Emperor. Keep in mind that at some point you are going to have to level your characters. At least target 650. At least get every one of your characters at some point leveled to 650. I know you have samurais now. Which actually we'll look at something after when it comes to the leveling. Because I think leveling is going to be a good step for you right now. I'll look at the rest of the details of what that entails so we can kind of see exactly where you're going. Clearly you have this stuff for XP, so you could get yourself a pretty good bonus with it. I mean, obviously you're not going to have the crazy justice amount, but that's okay. That's okay. You're still going to get... 650 I don't think is unobtainable for you. Yeah, but I mean, for right now, 650 is a good mark for them. So they can get the Emperor on. But yeah, obviously if they could get to 750, it's better. But 650 is a good target for now. Especially when you're talking about stuff that's a little bit on the lower side. And they just got the samurais. So, let's of course keep that in mind. The main thing, let's see. We'll check out your obols. See, nice. You got to get pop opal sets on the rest of these guys too. Like, finish off your obol sets. You got to get the rest of these obols, okay? I would definitely do that, like, more sooner than later. I mean, I see that you got these on there, which is nice. But yeah, get the rest of them on there. Get the rest of your obols. You only got 3 sets to go. Like, you could do that in a little bit of an afternoon or something. It would not take you long. Because right now they just got trash sitting on them. So do that. Definitely, I would prioritize that as probably, like, do that more sooner than later. It's very easy to get those sets, because right now you're just losing out. Looks good. Looks good. Yeah, you're crushing post office. Good job. You got these done. See, all the stuff I'm telling you to do, you've been knocking out. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead and go into the account stuff, because right off the bat, it also, Danneth, I know you don't want to hear this, and this is going to be the same thing I told you before. I know you don't want to hear this, because I know you don't like to do it. You've got to do your dungeons. You've got to do World 1 dungeon. You've got to switch out those rings. That's to the point to where you need Emperor Opal rings now. Okay, good job. Good job. I understand it takes time. Just another bit of I want to put into here, like, Danneth, don't forget to do your weekly dungeons. That's all. Because I'm horrible about it. You got to tell me to do them, because I'm horrible about them. I'm probably worse than you are, Adam. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, I want to look at the compass, because as far as for XP and stuff, this is where your XP can absolutely explode. Is when it comes to Windwalker. And I see that you're not crazy far on it. I get it. But at some point, if you're looking... Like I try to tell everybody. You're just going to have to kind of take a shot in the dark at it. I mean, you probably could use just about every one you have, and you're probably good to go. To be completely honest with you. If for nothing else, take even just like 100 or something. And you'd probably be fine. Alright, yeah, so you've done this a bit. When it comes to leveling, because you're at the point to where you probably should be leveling your characters. Yeah. So what I would do is, if you're going to go ahead and do some leveling on some characters at some point, because you're going to need to. Like I said, you're going to need to get everybody to at least 650. Level Windwalker first, and then you're going to want to actually play Windwalker. Because you're going to want to get to World 6. You're going to want to get the medallion for Samurais. Yeah, you don't have shit. So, you've just kind of run through it and you haven't grabbed really anything. You're going to have to play Windwalker at some point. You really are. You've got to get a lot of these done. So yeah, you're going to have to play Windwalker at some point. And then what's going to happen is, as soon as you get to World 6 and stuff, I mean, you don't have to do 6, just get to 6. But like, you're getting to that point to where you're probably okay to actually start playing that class. I would definitely recommend playing Windwalker at some point for you before you decide to level. Because, like I said, if you can get Samurai Guardian Medallion, you're going to get a metric fuck ton of XP. Like, it'll practically double what your multiplier is. It's absolutely insane. Like I had before, I was getting like a 20x, or a 20,000 times multiplier for XP. And then I went to Samurais and I was getting over 40,000. Like, it's that much. Why would you not want that? And you want these bonuses from this class, too. But yeah, you're going to have to push at some point. I would definitely recommend doing that before you level. Level it up to 650 or so. Get Windwalker up there. And then start pushing Windwalker. And then once you get to the point where you unlock Samurai Medallion, you can push the rest of the people up. You want your villager XP and stuff too at some point. The villager XP one on here is multiplicative. Keep that in mind. This is very, very good. So at some point when you can push this up, it's a good idea to do it. You're at the point to where master classes are going to start being a thing for you. But I would do Windwalker first, like I said, because then it gives the XP for the rest. You can level or even over level the piss out of them. Because you have all the paid stuff. I'm telling you right now, even if you don't have very high justice, it does not matter. Doesn't matter about your grind time. The fact that you just have those items is going to make leveling extremely fast. Like, you will probably just start leveling your characters and be 700 before you know it. I mean, if you're even so, Danneth, if you're pushing to 650 and it's like, hey, it's still super, super easy, I mean, push a little bit more. Because the more you get, the better off you are. So, I mean, if you're at 650 and you're like, oh, look, like 10, 20 minutes and I get another level, just push more levels, right? Because why wouldn't you at that point? I don't know until you kind of get into it. But, I mean, if you're getting very quick levels, then I would say to hell with it. You know, just push it up to 700 if you can. The more the merrier, right? You're going to be better off. I wouldn't worry too much about AC right now. Like I said, I would worry about Windwalker if you're going to worry about any of them. Like I said, stamps, we talked about it. Like, you got over the 10K mark. Fantastic. Like, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Because you probably had around 8K or so, if not less. And now you're over 10K. And you're looking really good. Make sure you're leveling up stuff each day, too. Try to hit some of these lower ones. So then when you do have the no stamp left behind, at least it's hitting one that, like, you probably can't level. So it'll kind of give you a little more bang for your buck. Al, you look fantastic. Shit, your Al's better than mine now because I'm lazy. I've got to do mine. Practice what I preach, right? So yeah, your efficiencies and stuff are looking good. Let's see what one we want to look at. Yeah, so you got them up because of Conjurer. Good stuff, Danneth. Good stuff. Yeah, you're doing really good, Danneth. Like, this is what happens when you listen, guys. Like, Danneth has been listening, and Danneth is at the point where they're like, look, I've knocked out all my stuff, bud. Like, what do I do now? Fantastic, though. Fantastic. And the doubles that you did was this. You doubled this. You doubled Larry. When you're fucking chef. That's okay. You got the really good ones done, though. Like you doubled the right stuff, too. At some point, Danneth, too, if you're lacking a little bit in damage and stuff, I know sailing's a bit of a pain in the ass for you, but keep in mind to level these as you can. Even if you got to bargain tag them, get these up at some point. Actually, you're probably working on bargain tagging this, to be honest, which would be a good thing. Yeah, just make sure you use your bargain tags every day. Don't forget about that. It's not as much anymore if they got it doubled, right? But yeah, I mean, you can definitely do Diamond Chef. But just make sure you're using your bargain tags every day. That's pretty much the takeaway from this. And at some point, as you start doing your efficiencies and stuff, you can get them all up to like 95%. Would be a good mark for you on your efficiencies. But I mean, I think your efficiencies are pretty solid. I think at this point, if you're going to take a day where you're going to focus on your bubbles... Yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, that's probably what they're going to use bargain tag. And why wouldn't you use a bargain tag on Diamond Chef anyways? They've got it doubled. Like, it makes sense. But, like, I would focus on some of your damage now. I think you're at that point to where damage would be a good one for you to go with. Because the rest of them are like 90% or so. You probably are lacking a little bit in damage. These three are great for you. And, of course... You know, this is some of the stuff here. You can do some of these. But, like, obviously, try 1, try 2, and try 3 are going to be really good for you. But, yeah, you're at that point. And then I see you're pushing these up a little bit, which is nice. While you're cranium cooking, yeah, you can work on these World 6 ones. That you could. There's a bunch of World 6 ones that, like, as you're cranium cooking, and if you do... Like, you could do grind time if you wanted to. Let's see what your grind time's at, for curiosity's sake. Yeah, you're like 3,600. It's not too bad. But anytime you work on grind time, if you don't have these World 6 ones blown up, essentially you can use grind time to use your Tier 1 and Tier 2 liquid, and then your Tier 3 and Tier 4 you can use on these. Because there's a lot of these that, like this, eventually when you get your farming up some, this is a joke. You know, that one's a joke. This one's clearly a joke. That's why you got it up so high. This one too. But yeah, focus on those at some point while you're doing like a grind time or something. And you'll be in really, really good shape. Everything's good. Why your vials are a massive improvement, Danneth. Massive improvement. With 2-minute claims, you could knock these two out. It looks like you started working on them. Good stuff, though. Really good. Like, if for nothing else, as when you get to the point to where you're making God Shard and stuff like that, pop in a couple of these. Knock these out at the same time. There's no reason why you can't smelt these and do 2-minute claims on these at the same time. Chuck a ton of them in. You're probably going to have the capacity unlocked with your Conjurer in the hole. go ahead and have the capacity up, fill even a couple slots of each of these, do the rest in God Shard, do 2-minute claims, and yeah, you'll knock these out in no time. It'll be an absolute joke. But yeah, you're looking really good on these, though. Really good. Sigils is what it is. You know, just kind of keep doing your thing on them. They're slow. Yep. And the good news is, Danneth, make sure to every day you're doing Emperor. Do Emperor every day. Even if you have to reset it to keep pushing the items. Because once you get to a point where you can't push any further, don't force it. You're not at the point where you should force it. Get them done in an easy manner so you can get the items for Emperor. Because you're going to want a good stockpile to be able to knock all these. Because if you can make God Shard, just make sure your levels are high enough. This is why I say to level your dudes up to 650. Because of the headpiece. Every other piece is 600, but the headpiece is 650. But make sure you get everybody up to 650, and then as soon as you make God Shard, you can instantly make Emperor gear. Like, it'll be such a smooth transition for you. So you've got to get to that point, though. That's why I say Windwalker is a huge priority for you. I would get the last sets of, like, for what I see right now, I would get the last set of your obols, your drop rate obols, the last 3 sets. And then I would start focusing on Windwalker. Yeah, it's not that high of a scaling, no. It resets it down by 1, Danneth. It doesn't reset all of it. It resets you down by 1. So it's not resetting the fuck out of you. Like, everybody made it out like it resets every single one of your gains, but it doesn't. It'll reset it. Resetting just drops you down 1 level. That's all it does. It's just 1 level. Yeah, bargain tag is very cheap. Yeah, you can do it quite a few times a day. Yep. Yeah, it just drops you down by 1, Danneth. Yep, it just drops you down 1 level. That's it. So you're losing 1 buff. So get to the point where it's fairly easy or so for you. And then just kind of sit there. So what you do is before every run, do 1 reset. It'll reset you down 1 level. Run it, beat it, get your stuff. Go back, reset down 1 level, run it again. And just keep doing that. Yeah, sit at 50 if you can. Yeah, 50 is a good one. Yep. Yep, then you're going to keep some good buffs. But I mean, you don't want it to be one where it's going to be miserable every time you have to do it, right? Like, we all know you're not going to want to do it if it's miserable every time. So, but yeah, you want to stockpile those items because you want it to the point where when you make God Shard, you want to have your levels high enough, and then you can go ahead and plow through it. Yeah, there are probably a little ways. Yeah, keep in mind with that trophy, though. I've told Danneth about that trophy already. That's why I haven't mentioned it. At some point, also, you're going to want to go through and you're going to want your 1,000,000,000 kills on everything. You're going to want to get your Eclipse Skulls. That's definitely a point where you're at. It's okay, Danneth, because if you have to sit a little bit further down, sit there for a little bit. Farm up those items. It's more important right now for you. Now, the real question is, too, also, do you have the wings from Emperor? Because the wings are very important, too. See, so once again, you're going to want to go down a little bit, make it farm easy, so then you can farm yourself up some obols. You can farm yourself up the wings, because you're going to want that set bonus when you get to that point. And farm those items. I would highly recommend that. And I know you've got the 2 extra that you can do a day, so do them as often as you can. Don't let them overflow. Exactly, like Flip It. Like Fip is saying, like, lose a few buffs to be able to just plow right through them, you know? Exactly. Your skulls are looking better than they were, too. I mean, I'm going to run through these. Let's see. I know you don't want, like, a ton of a video here, so I'm going to, at the end, I'm going to go ahead and give you a detailed list on what I would have you do. And we'll make it very simplistic for you. Rift done. Good shit, Danneth. Yeah, you're fucking crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. See, and this is the thing too with Danneth. Danneth is probably their 4th account review that I've done. And every single time, if you watch the videos that I've done of Danneth, every single time Danneth is doing the stuff that I say, and they are progressing very nice every single time. Yeah, see, like, we're looking at this. Time to level, 388 hours, so... grab the old calculator here, so 388. Divide that by 24. 16 days. See, that's a little long, Danneth. Yeah, right, Fenner? That's a little long on this. You're going to have to work with some more at some point. A lot of it, too, is, Danneth, I know with you, is jars. You need a good one in jars for villager XP. I would take this shit out of Explorer, to be honest with you. Let's see what you have unlocked, anyways. Like, your next ones... Okay, I mean, you're not too bad on this. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, you're not too bad on this, to be honest. This is probably going to take you a while anyways. So, never mind. Still 14 billion is a lot easier than that. Conjurer. Yeah, so your measure isn't terrible. Right now I'm doing an account review that was cashed in for channel points. That's how I do reviews. Other than that, I don't look at people's account because then I'd have to look at everybody's. I would say right now your best bet, Danneth, is to either put into getting a few more of these, because you're not terrible on this, but even more so, like, you could probably even go into Conjurer. The amount of XP that you need to level is a lot less than everything else. Between Conjurer and Engineer. Study also doesn't take you very much either. I wouldn't worry about Explorer right now. Like, sitting it there for 16 days is such a waste of time. You need to get into jars, and you need to get some villager XP. That's really what you need. I think that's to the point where you're at right now. You really need to get your jars going. Because if we look at your collectibles, see, this is what's killing you right now. You need villager XP ones. Yeah, how many people are jealous of this? Literally, they got this one for rubies, but, like, how jealous are all of you guys that, like, this was their second gem? This was Danneth's second gem. So good. So good. But, Danneth, what I would do is I would definitely work on trying to get a good, like, a villager XP one. Yeah, because they waited on all the first ones. Yeah, it was literally the second. Well, obviously, Danneth's going to pull a bunch now. But yeah, I would focus on trying to pull a bunch of collectibles now. Pull a bunch of collectibles and then start enchanting them. Because you need to pull more. Yeah, you need to push collectibles. You've got a lot of the schematics unlocked now for it. Yeah, because you got the ones for the numbers. So try to get all of... Let's see here. Yeah, because you've got the one for it. Get all of your stuff up to about 1 trillion or so, or even in the multiple billions. And then get them all up to a good amount, and then just start blowing through unlocking collectibles nonstop. Get a metric fuck ton of them. When you start get to the point to where you start getting screwed and you can't really pull them that great anymore, switch over to enchanting them. Yeah, because this is the point where you're at. This is where you're going to get your villager XP. And I know you want the Monument AFK, but right now Monument AFK is shit to you compared to you getting villager XP. You need villager XP. Now, if you had the last one unlocked and you had the last Sanctum unlocked, of the ancient golems and stuff, I'd say, hey, totally do your monument AFK. But until you have that unlocked, you need villager XP. Like that would say that would be my takeaway for you for the cavern. Farming. I know I've talked to you about this before. Look at that. Both of them. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like I told Danneth, get these 2 done. What does Danneth do? Gets them done. That's what I'm talking about. And I bet you now, Danneth, I bet you farming is starting to feel a little bit easier on you, isn't it? But yeah, get your speed up, get your OG up and stuff. Yeah. It's probably feeling a lot better for you, though. Eventually, when you get high enough, you can max out the EXP and you can max out the super GMO. Yeah, it takes time, but once you start getting to the point to where you're cooking, like, it doesn't take that long to ramp it, and then you just start getting ridiculous, and it's non-stop resets. So yeah, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're fine. You're fine, Danneth. Like, it's going to take you time. But compared to where you were, you're doing really well. Let's see here. You're on 26, so it's hard at 26 for you? That's what you're saying? So yeah, I mean, if you got to go down a little bit, go down a little bit. Like, losing a few buffs doesn't matter. So, okay. Let me go ahead. I think this is pretty good. Let me go ahead and just kind of, in conclusion here, we're going to give you, this is what you need to do. You need to focus on Cavern on your jars. You need to get more collectibles unlocked. Massive thing. Make sure you're doing it nonstop, because you can do this as you're doing everything else. Make sure your jars, you're unlocking collectibles. Obviously, get all of your resources up to a pretty good amount, because there is a schematic that's going to scale your chance for collectibles higher. So get at least like 10 billion, if not like, if it's pretty easy to get to like 10 billion, 100 billion or so, get everything at that rate. Work them all up to that rate. Don't spend them. Leave them sitting there. Because you also have to stop and think of the speed and stuff like that scales with having them too. So keep them all at a good high amount and then just pound into unlocking collectibles. Have all your jars sitting on that. That's for the cavern. You also need to get those last opal sets. The opal sets for drop rate on the last 3 characters that you need. I would get those. I would prioritize that and just get that done like this afternoon or something if you have a chance. It's not going to be hard for you to do it. Get that done. Then at some point, I would say you're at the point to where you need to level up your Windwalker, get it up to a halfway decent level, and then you need to start actually doing Windwalker. Get it up to the point to where you can push all the way up. You're going to want to unlock Samurais in World 6. And then after that, you can level up everyone else. And then once you level everyone else, you're going to want to constantly be progressing into, as your level permits for it, to equip yourself with God Shard gear and then upgrade yourself to Emperor gear. Hence the point of why you're doing Emperor every day. Because then by the time when you're able to use Emperor, you'll have enough of the items to be able to just smooth transition into, okay, I made God Shard, now I can make it into Emperor. Their level's high enough, bam. And you could essentially skip right through God Shard tier. You could instantly set all your guys up with Emperor. And that's what I would work on, Danneth. Obviously, as you're going along too with the alchemy, make sure with alchemy that you're going to raise up some of your damage stats. Make sure you're bargain tagging every day on Diamond Chef so you can get your meals up. And also do your stamps a little bit here and there. Make sure that you're not wasting away your gilded levels every day. Your gilded stamps. But yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good, though. Like, you've progressed a lot. You've done awesome. Absolutely awesome. And then at some point, once you get past that kind of stuff, then you can start working on statues and stuff like that. Because your statues are a little bit low. But, I mean, there's no point in pushing your statues like crazy because it does get way easier later on down the road. So I don't want to overwhelm you with too much. So does that sound like a good list for you? It sounds like some good stuff for you to work on. Yeah, I mean, gold food's a good one too. It is, but I mean, it's the same term as statues. Once you get a bit, like, they become so much easier later on. So, like, technically you could pop these gold cheese up a little bit too. Like, let's see here. We can look at like World 6 for the beanstalk here. Yeah, I mean, you're to the point to where you got like the 100Ks and stuff. Obviously, these are coming from Colosseums. We know how that is. Yeah, your summary is good. Like, you notice how even having like 200 of them as major shrines go up a lot. But I think you're fine for now. At some point, yeah, you're going to want to snag some gold food. And you can get a little bit here and there. If you want to break up the monotonous in between stuff, there's nothing wrong with going and grabbing some statues and some golden food. You can definitely work that in between here and there, you know? Just so you're not constantly doing the same shit and bore you like crazy, you know? Leveling gets a little monotonous and stuff after a while. But yeah, I mean, your stuff is looking good, though. Like, you've got a lot of this stuff. Actually, let's see something here. Yeah, those are maxed. Okay. I was going to say, I saw a lot of these. But yeah, that's because Ukrainian cooked. But yeah, you look like you're doing good. I think everything's great. Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, that's why I gave you a little summary at the end. But yeah, I think you'll be in good shape. I think we can go ahead and kind of end it there. But yeah, later, everybody.